Can you take 2 weeks off without your revenue dropping, let alone 2 hours every day to take care of your body while your testosterone is still high? If not, you didn't build yourself a business, but a prison. And I'm gonna tell you how I built myself a prison, how I got myself out of it by going from a stressed agency owner to a relaxed right-hand man. So first of all, as you can see, it's not about trying to scale the agency a different way or whatever. If you don't like the game you're playing, you gotta play another game. The only benefit that you get from running that kind of business, you close a client, you survive current month and next month, and you get skills out of that, which is great. I think it's a great stepping stone. But then, as a relaxed right-hand man, as I like to call it, you wanna focus more on the long term, doing more with a few. And what you wanna do is that you wanna charge money that allows you to allocate funds in order to not only pay yourself and your team, but also to grow your client's business. As a right-hand man, we focus on the long term. So we don't just want to close the client to get money to survive the current and the next month. We want to build the best stories, because stories are what can be leveraged. And by stories, I also mean case studies. By creating good stories, good projects to work on and to go deeper into, that's how we can attract more people who want to share their story with us. So in a sense, work with us so we take care of their brand and grow it higher. Because this is the true asset here. Listen, if you work with those creators or those people who have a brand, let's say you're a content professional or marketing professional, you're working with people who need exposure in order to show their product to the masses. Why not be the guy so why not become like your clients? Because if you're helping them, that means they have resources, right? That you can just better allocate because you have the skills. But at the end of the day, if you not only have the skills to do all of that and allocate their money properly to get more exposure on their products, but you also have the skill and the audience yourself, thanks to the stories, because people are attracted by stories. Even more now with AI, with content getting commoditized, the only way to be unique is to have your own story. Then that's how you can really scale. And you do that by doing the unscalable, by really having a boutique approach to working with clients and building stories and building depth. It's kind of like dating. I'm going to show you an example from being not serious to being way more serious. When you date a lot of different women, it's like small dots on the line. So this is the surface. And you can't go very deep, right? It will stay on the surface level. It will always be the same thing. Maybe you're gonna go to the restaurant and then the cinema and then eat something outside and then maybe a walk in the woods. It will always be surface level, because if you just wanna get laid, for example, then it will stop at that and then you will move on to the next one. And the only difference here will be maybe the skin color, some different topics and different personalities, but overall, the same thing. Whereas if you focus on the right companion, that's how you can build depth, right? That's how you can create a story. Because stories don't get created with small surface level stuff. They need time, they need ups and downs, they need different experiences in order to get built and build what matters the most, which is trust. Trust can't be built with surface level experiences. And so as you build deeper experiences, that's how you get better stories, and that's how you can solve harder problems, and that's how people will trust you more, and that's how you can build your reputation, which is your brand, in other words. And so, yeah, this is just an analogy to show you why I chose this approach. That's how you want to position yourself. You want your skills to be applied to the right clients, to the right people, so you can make more out of a few and have more output for the same input that you would have done with a lot of different clients on a retainer basis. So this is why I think this model is good if you want to get skills, but then you need to evolve. You need to evolve and make sure that every input, every hour you put in the business, you can actually get it out as skills, as brands, as something you can invest in a vehicle that compounds. Now, the other problem with the agency model is something extremely important: incentives. When incentives are not aligned, that can't go very far. Let me explain. Your clients, so that's you, your clients don't benefit from you wanting to add more clients. Because you doing this with the agency model, which is basically a talent company, right? You have talent either just by yourself or with your business partner or with your team, and you need to allocate it to different people, to different businesses. And the more clients you have, the more you dilute your value. You will crash eventually. That's what happened to me. I was closing clients on clients, growing as fast as possible. I spent most of my time was in acquisition. And acquisition is good, it's very important, but it doesn't necessarily make the product better. And of course, I hired people, had a team of, at the peak, it was 13 people. But with me spending most of my time here and making sure that everything was running with my business partner, I still was very fragile to market movements. I was fighting so many different fights at the same time. And whereas if I just focused on a few and struck deals that actually got me more upside, it would have been different. So what incentive do you need to design in order to not fall into that trap? You need, let's draw a graph. So these are your clients' wins. These are your wins. When your client wins, you need to win. If he wins more, you win more. If he wins less, you win less. You need to be skin in the game. Sure, being skin in the game has some risk, but you can reduce that risk by selling infrastructure. Whenever you start a collaboration, you need to build an infrastructure because let me tell you something. In the age of AI, knowledge ain't power anymore. KAP. And you want to use social media like a toilet. So you really want to do a mental purge every day. Information has an expiration date. It doesn't stay in your head. It expires. Information that you get now will get less valuable a month from now, a year from now. You gotta imagine that every day that passes, all right? So this is time and value. Every day that passes, information goes down. It can even go down exponentially with new technology, like a new version of an AI. So you really want to put it out when it's up there, when it's of highest value. You want to put it out, and by putting it out, you're not necessarily solving problems, but you're showing people that you know what you're doing and you have the info, and so you know how to act on it. That's what you're showing. You're showing your ability to act on the information that you learned. And that's how people will trust you whenever they have a problem that's about the information that you share. They will think about you and it will make sense to work with you. So now, last thing, in order to really make it, is you need to switch your identity. As an agency, you are mainly a asker. You ask for permission. You outreach to people. You enter their space. You are dominated, right? Because your hand is facing upwards. You're asking for something in exchange for what you can provide, right? You're in the DMs, you're in the emails. What you want to become is a giver. When you're a giver, your hand is facing downwards. You're dominating. And giving, in that case, is more like teaching. You want to become an authority, just like the people you serve. And by becoming an authority, by giving away what you know or showing that you know stuff, just showing insights, you don't need to give away the full solution because people don't respect what's free, but you get the point. You want to show that you operate from abundance. You already have the answers, you just attract people to you. And if they need to implement those answers, then you're here for them. You have the systems. And by cultivating a giving habit every day through content, for example, it's how you can really position yourself as a sovereign operator because you attract people to you. You have control over your channel of acquisition. You have people asking to work with you. You attract the askers yourself. If you want weekly intel on how to build a sovereign business, just sign up to my newsletter with the first link in the description. See you in the trenches.